Welcome, everyone, to a Disney movie classic, bringing you only the most heartwarming of family-friendly ventures. Bring your children all around to see the wonderment of Disney Princess Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Disney villainess, the Predator.
So is Arnold Schwarzenegger a Disney princess now?
Yes.
I suppose.
Sure, why
Look,
not?
look. If Thor is a Disney princess, so is Arnold Schwarzenegger at this point.
Well, Deji, he did get pregnant at one point.
Oh,
I have no idea what you're referencing to. and
Junior.
I don't care. So,
Junior.
Trust me, you're better off not knowing.
Anyway, oh, by the way, the Alien Queen is also a Disney princess too now. Fun fact.
Why not Ripley
Disney
herself?
Queen.
Because she's
I'm
not
pretty-
royalty.
Are you sure? Because
So
of the
wasn't
Alien
Cinderella,
Resurrection.
Drova. Your point?
Hey, she became real royalty in the end. Regardless, though.
Yeah.
Today's movie is Predator, a classic, and the start of our
Indeed,
journey
yes,
towards a very inane universe of spine-ripping stuff I will not mention, and also aliens, because, yeah, a
Well,
certain...
the Predators technically are aliens, so...
Well, you know what I mean, though,
Yeah,
because... Okay.
Xeno. I guess it gets pretty Xeno, if you know what I mean.
So, the Predator franchise, it's a classic, it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, you likely have heard of it. However, the franchise itself has been through a lot of rocky history. How rocky? Well, let's just say something terrible that occurred in 2018 has been the last thing we've seen of the franchise since then, and for good reason.
Although they are making a new film.
Wow,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. And like I said, that's been the last thing for quite
And
some time.
also, unlike with Alien, Disney hasn't done much, press work when it comes to talking about the franchise. Well, for stuff like Avatar and even Aliens, Disney said, "Oh no, we looked with this in great interest, and we're making different projects about them." With Predator, it seems to be more quiet at best.
Here's
So yeah, the movie was directed by John McTiernan, who at this point was just starting out his film directing career. This is the second film he directed after Nomads and the one before Die Hard.
Huh. So he specialized in these kind of action movies. Oh, he also directed Last Action Hero.
Yes. As for the
Interesting.
cast, we have, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. Carl Weathers in his prime as well.
Jesse Ventura.
Bill Duke.
And a young coming guy called Shane Black, who will later try his directorial debut later on.
More on him later. So anyway, when the movie came about, it was on a budget of $15 to $18 million, and it received a box office of $98.3 million. So, definitely a success.
How much of that budget was Arnie's salary?
Well, let's see. It's Arnold in the 80s, so Pedro, how big was he at that point?
Incredibly big. This was after Terminator 1, remember?
Remember, I think it was Conan the Barbarian, the one that propelled his career. So there is that. But regardless, this was also another one big milestone on why the 80s are regarded as one big new stepping stone for live action movies.
Oh, yes, with all practical effects at hand. So,
All right.
let's get started here. Start at the 20th Century Fox logo for this Disney movie.
Now a Disney company. Thanks, Simpsons.
Apparently, the proper name now is 20th Century Studios, according to the YouTube
To be
channel.
fair, the
Yeah.
logo we're using it's the old one, so the point is to start before that. Go ahead,
And here we
Jova.
go in 3, 2, 1, click. So from what I can recall, the general consensus is this. First Predator film, absolutely awesome. Second one, maybe not as awesome, but still pretty great. Then we suddenly had a big hiatus of Predator films until, 2010 with Predators, which was
Yeah.
a fine
I-
movie.
I liked it, but it could have been better. It was clear that they tried to actually modernize the formula, but it
Then-
wasn't as spectacular as they wanted it to be.
Then there's the two AVP movies. From what I've heard, the first AVP movie is actually not a complete bad time. It's
It's
Arguably,
fine, but also could have been better. The second one is garbage,
okay, wait,
so don't bother.
Hey, Tio,
Yeah.
is it better than Freddy vs. Jason?
On the same level for me.
Okay.
Wow,
Final Frontier.
I love how the title is just that simple.
Yeah,
not
Alan
anything.
Silvestri tried to wake up the audience.
These are the voyages of the opening credits.
Oh my god, now you
Yeah,
just...
so this film.
Oh yeah, that's right.
so
The
this
music in this movie was actually done by a classic, Alan Silvestri.
this
Before he was
movie
doing
released-
Captain America, he was, well, composing to the bouts of Arnold
Lives.
Schwarzenegger, going up against
this film
spine-ripping
released-
aliens. Go on.
So this film released in June of 1987.
A summer release. That was actually risky.
Well, it's an action blockbuster too. Usually the best place to release those is
It's either summer or around near Christmas.
It's interesting how the decades shift the focus on when it's the most, hot place. Because usually nowadays it's either summer or January who are the most poisonous.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
they
some...
are Jesse Ventura.
Okay.
Why not?
Right. So, history behind Jesse Ventura?
He was one of the most famous wrestling personalities in the world. He was known as a wrestler, then as a long-time color commentator in the WWF and WCW.
Is he the mayor?
And he was in the late 90s was elected governor of Minnesota.
So, fun fact, actually, there's actually a relatively unknown guy at the time who supplied the voice for the Predator. He was an actor who you may know by the name of Peter Cullen.
Huh.
Never heard of him. What's he done?
Yeah, I mean, the actual
Okay.
physical performance was from a guy named Kevin Peter Hall.
Okay, Ded, let me first clarify. Are you serious that you don't know who Peter Cullen is?
No, I'm not familiar with Peter Cullen's most popular role from that niche franchise.
Okay,
called
Mr.
Transformers.
Sarcastic.
But, okay, here's also the interesting thing about it. For all intents and purposes, this is also a deconstructive movie, believe it or not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and the special effects, the creatures effects were done by the legendary Stan Winston, one of the
Wait,
all-time
what do you
great
mean by
special effects.
deconstruction?
Let me put it like this,
Of the
Dez.
of the traditional 80s action schlock, movie where the heroes are invincible and bowl down literally everything in their path.
Let me put it like
Yeah.
this. What starts as your typical Arnold Schwarzenegger action flick will... Well, let's just say it'll change in tone and flavor as the movie goes by.
It's and yeah, you can already be assured of a great Predator effect because Stan Winston's on the helm.
So yeah, honestly, this had a pretty much all-star team in directing, casting, and composing.
Well, this is only his second movie directing, so
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, clear. Okay, as of now, we know that
Cigar.
he's a great one. Them's the 80s. So Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the ever-American soldier Dutch.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, the all-American, totally not.
He's
Yeah.
the all
Totally
American
From Austria.
From Austria.
Well, you know what? Apparently America loved him enough to make a governor.
Mm-hmm.
But
How
yeah,
did that happen, actually?
this is actually
We don't talk about it.
this is about putting together a team because there has been some killing that the military doesn't know who to attribute it. Or like one of the best scenes in the movie, right at the beginning.
Hey, Carl Weathers.
Apollo, how you doing?
So,
Oh
yeah,
my god!
Apollo
I
Creed,
felt
somehow-
every time I see that scene, I feel the testosterone
Yeah.
flashing on the screen.
So Apollo Creed somehow survived being killed 2 years earlier.
Apparently. An arm wrestling match with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Why does that sound like
Also-
a ticket to death?
Also, writing magic, you can tell just by that, like, less than a minute, that its two guys are super BFFs without being too cheesy. How is it possible?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did we make it?
Wait, you know how?
The 80s was the decade of
I know
cheese.
I know the answer to that's good writing. It's
I was
just
gonna
better.
say sincerity.
True, yeah. Like, again, it's not a movie insisting that they're good friends, it's a movie showing that they're best friends.
Because they have muscles and can do an arm.
Mhm. But yeah, the point is about getting together a team because again, some mysterious killings are happening, and we don't even know if it's a guerrilla corp or something.
Basically, supposedly insurgents.
Kind of insurgents.
Supposedly a Soviet-backed invasion.
It was still like, even if it was only at the end of the 80s, it was still tempting to use the Soviet menace potentially, or one of their proxy countries.
Cold War and all that. Good morning, Vietnam!
Yeah, seriously, this is inspired both by that and Apocalypse Now.
Oh boy, Apocalypse Now.
Didn't what's the movie?
What?
Kong Skull Island take the scene as well?
I think so, actually.
Yeah, like they were all in Holocaust.
So
there's
just
There's our
Ventura.
team. Sexton Hale, what are you doing here?
So why wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger in Rocky?
That's a good question, actually.
Guess it
There's
was
Sean, that's Shane Black.
No.
Actually, no, this is one, Shane Black, my bad.
Shane Black's the one in glasses.
Yeah, the
Yep.
nerd of the team.
Yeah, in this movie, apparently, Fox brought on Shane Black not only to act, but also to apparently
Script doctorate.
make sure John McTiernan knew what he was doing because McTiernan was a rookie at this point.
Oh, the irony given how Shane Black has become something.
This was actually... Sorry, go on.
Shane Black these days has become something of a controversial figure in the bouts of media. And no, I
like
don't.
the other guys.
Oh yeah, wait, the other
The
guys.
nice guys, I mean. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say you.
2016, I haven't seen it yet.
However, his last directorial or heck film he's been involved with, as far as I know, which came out in 2018, has been, well, his last directorial debut since then. And, well, there was a lot of controversy going on with that movie as well. Let me put it like this. Like his character in this movie, Shane Black has a tendency to tell crass humor, sometimes in which he needs to explain the joke and not many people laugh at. Now, granted, there can be an art to this, but a lot of times it can lead to just a lot of cringy moments, which was most seen in his, well, again, his last film as of now, The Predator.
If that was just the case, Jova, but again, I will be more in detail when we eventually get to that movie, but there's also the fact that that movie portrays actual, mental and psychological, disabilities in a very tasteless way.
Yeah.
Since we talked about missed opportunities, the biggest one is that we never had a Contra movie starring Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Okay, Tio.
The Expendables are exclusive we get just with humans instead of aliens.
Okay, so I do know about all those other controversies, Tio. I'm trying to, keep a bit of the Shane Black stuff to a minimum because for now,
Sure.
he's just mainly an actor
to put
and
it
a
on
script
the perspective,
doctor here,
that was nice. For this movie, this was actually his second actorial role. He was in the previous year in a movie called Night of the Creeps, which I haven't seen. It was even an uncredited role, if anything. But he was already becoming, majorly important for also not just an actor, because the same year he was also writing for the first Lethal Weapon movie.
You know what's great also too?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're officially putting this this movie on our belts, now I get to pick Robo War when I feel like it.
What does this movie have to do with Robo
War? Good old Bruno Mattei made his own schlocky ripoff of this movie.
Yeah, there
But-
were a lot actually, but Roma Tape did a particular one.
Oh my god! So it was essentially a mockbuster of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
How
and
good-
It's terrible.
oh,
Okay,
terrible,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Let me put it this way, Jova. Red Brown tries his hardest to save that with his natural charisma, but even he can't save that one.
Oh dear. So anyway,
Has Red Brown ever been in a good movie?
Drebs, the closest
I
thing
would
he's been in a
I
good
would
movie
say
would be
I would
like-
say Howling 2, if you view it in an actual ironical way, is
God, the
actually pretty
Howling-
good.
The Howling too.
Yeah, Howling 2 is the closest he's ever come to being in a good movie, and that movie's bad.
So
And
But
keep
it
in
can be
mind,
enjoyable,
it's
like Theo said. But
and
like
keep in
Theo
mind, it's
said-
mostly also Christopher Lee carrying it.
Yeah, but like Theo said, Drebs, you can enjoy it if you just pretend it's a comedy.
so
Wait, you mean the Michael Myers Halloween too?
no.
No.
We
Howling.
said Howling.
Howling.
I said Halloween.
No,
Sure.
There's this franchise called Howling, where the second Howling movie was called, and I'm serious when I say
Yep.
this, Sturba Werewolf Bitch, which for some
Yes.
reason in America was changed to Your Sister is a
help!
Werewolf.
My sister's a werewolf. For
Yes,
some
my
reason.
sister's a werewolf.
I'm actually curious. I'll check
Wow.
in the meantime.
Wow,
What's called
that's
in my
as bad
country.
as Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Like seriously, like seriously, that's one of the stupidest marketing decisions in the history of marketing. Why would you change that title? Everybody would go
Okay.
see that movie. With that
Okay,
title.
Pedro.
Oh,
Okay, Pedro. Just to mention. Oh, sorry, go on, Joe.
Speaking of
No,
Yeah, this is
marketing,
important stuff.
speaking of marketing regarding this movie, might as well mention, if I recall correctly, I wasn't alive around it, but from what I have heard, supposedly the true nature of this movie was hidden in the marketing. Like, as far as
Yes.
most people knew, this was just going to be a typical dude bro action shooter sort of film. Like, heck, even the cover
at the very least,
shown
at the
is-
very least, yeah, I remember that the actual look of a Predator was kept in super secrecy
oh,
for a long time.
absolutely. But again, like,
It was kind of like the monster in the first Cloverfield movie. Nobody knew what it actually looked like for a long time.
Or
My-
Godzilla in the 1988 movie.
yeah, to help the hype for it. But regardless, though, I mean, this movie, though, like, I mean, even looking at the cover used on the Wikipedia article, it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger with a target reticle over him. Easily something that could
Yes.
probably also fit for the likes of Commando or something.
It also has to do, Joe, that the marketing department at Fox probably also tried their best to make it appeal to what was at the time one of the most popular genres, which was, you know, the dude bro action movie.
Which, again, okay, now granted, we have talked about sometimes marketing that feels like it's lying. I'd say this is not a case where it feels like it was lying, but one where it was cleverly hiding what was to come. Like, yeah, you are technically getting the dude bro shooting here and there. What they don't reveal is what it's due to come. That kind of marketing that hides the true nature of stuff, I'm more okay with, because it doesn't, it doesn't resort to lying outright. It's more a clever manipulation of the feed here and there. Make of that what you will.
This is also kind of fitting. We're commenting on this now because it's like what, the 35th anniversary of the movie. Actually, 25th. No, 25th. Oh my god, it's fuck, it's an anniversary. Fuck,
So it's 1987. This is 1987.
I can't
Yeah.
do math, and me.
Oh, okay,
It's the
but,
4th anniversary.
well, there you go, Theo. You should apply for a job at Microsoft Italy then.
Okay, one last thing about Howling 2, just for trivia, before we move on. At least the retitling was actually fine. This is a different subtitle. In my country, Howling 2 is literally called Howling 2, translating, mind you, Howling 2, The Howling. Redundancy much.
The Howling.
Are
Wow, that's even
Wow.
dumber than the American name.
Yes, Howling to the Howling. That doesn't sound redundant at all.
But that's pretty
But
much
anyway,
it.
yeah, back to this movie. So, yeah.
I bet you the executives were howling at that name.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's also
good.
That's also another thing. Being a movie entirely about hunting, and being a mission in secrecy, there is not much effective dialogue unless it's strictly necessary, which is pretty nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie that tries to, build up tension, being very quiet. So
I'll say, I think one of the issues with this franchise is that, unlike Alien, this one was not really able to hold
Tasty.
on to its leading star throughout the franchise. Like, it's weird.
because it's
You
like
didn't bring any of your provisions at all. You're already having to rely on.
Bear Grylls teaches everything, I suppose.
It's more so about them trying to live off the land and whatnot, because, it's more like he doesn't want to go for his canteen just yet in case.
They don't know how much we will be engaged. I
Yeah.
think they mentioned it.
It's a typical strategy soldiers sometimes use here and there when they're sure that the resources out there are safe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy will be fine.
He's got a knife. That should help.
a knife.
It's not a
He brought
Bowie
knife
knife.
to a gunfight.
Yeah, by the
Oh,
way,
hello.
this is R-rated.
Well, he didn't die at least.
3, 2, 1, boom.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Just what kind of savages are we dealing with?
Oh, God, I mean, I wanted to say something, but it's very inappropriate. Not the bird!
Oh, again. That's okay, TL. They flipped the bird for you.
Well, let's check the plate.
No, not Hopper.
At least out of respect.
Oh, by the way, the guy playing Mac is the same guy who plays that dude
Is it
from
the same-
Commando.
Yeah, the one that fights him and says that he was like a Green Beret.
Yeah, which is funny because these guys that they're cutting down are from the Green Berets.
Huh.
So, speaking of Peter Cullen,
Hmm?
he was a bit reluctant to voice the Predator at first because he injured his throat playing the title character in the 1976 version of King Kong. But he saw a picture of the unmasked creature and was like, yeah, sure, cool.
Wow, so
Why
Peter
not?
Cullen... it's fitting that Peter Cullen played King Kong, given how Optimus Primal literally turns into a gorilla.
Wait,
Come-
Yeah, I
Or
think
Beast
he's more-
Wars.
Yeah.
It's interesting, I keep forgetting he voices the Predator. I thought he was more well known for being Optimus Prime.
I honestly thought that first because I didn't check that it was actually traditional Frank Welker.
I know, which is ironic. Normally when you think weird animal voices, you think Frank Welker, but nope, they got Peter Cullen of all people for it.
Either him or Robin Atkin Downs.
Yeah, Robin Atkin Downs surprisingly does that quite frequently too.
It also helps that nowadays technology allows for voice tuning,
I'd
a
say
better voice tuning.
I'd say it's the triumvirate of D. Bradley Baker, Frank Welker,
Whoa.
and Robin Atkin
Now
Downs.
that's a machine gun.
And Fred Tatasciore as well. He also does quite a bit of them.
Oh, I guess also Tress McNeil too. She can do quite a few animal voices. All
Whoa,
right, so
But
it's-
what's this?
Oh no.
It's an
Can't
infrared
talk.
vision.
could it be that the hunters are becoming
The hunted. Hmm.
So, do they ever give an explanation to why the Predator is doing this, or it's just shrouded in mystery?
It's lit. Well, okay, it's
Okay.
explained better in Okay, Jova, let's pretend for a second that the Predator doesn't exist. For the
Thank
context
God.
of the first little movies, it's literal sports, Dej. They literally hunt for sport measuring. It's a dick measuring contest to show how good we are at hunting.
Yeah.
And you know what they say? What's the most dangerous game, Dej?
Hunting?
no,
Well, no.
man.
It's usually referred like that. Someone who wants to hunt other human beings refer to them as the most dangerous game.
Oh, no,
Yes, I get it, Alan. You want to be super sneaky. I'm actually curious in the meantime. Let me check how many Predator video games were.
Oh, also, you know who was originally cast to play the physical form of the Predator?
Hmm?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, just no. So
I mean,
who they
he
chose
actually-
instead?
He actually did film some scenes, but he was fired.
Oh, really?
Why is that?
Um, well, apparently, when he was first brought in, because he just emigrated from Belgium, they didn't give him a sufficient enough explanation of what he was supposed to be doing. He thought the temp effects suit was the actual suit for the product, for the final product.
Oh boy.
And the suit was also unwieldy, and it was angry because he couldn't do any martial arts.
He genuinely believed that the actual Predator was had martial arts moves. Oh my god.
Oh, and not to mention, Van Damme was also constantly pissed and complaining all the time.
Of course.
And yeah, he was fired, and they brought in Kevin Peter Hall to to be in the suit.
Oof.
I mean, to be fair to Van Damme, I mean, why'd you cast a guy like him and have him dressed in a big suit?
Wow, the Predator is supposed to be in that.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, though?
Damn, I didn't know Kevin Peter Hall actually died of HIV. That's sad. But I was checking in the meantime. There were not much actually Predator solo video games. There was one on the NES, among other ports. There was
There's also
one.
Predator Hunting Grounds. That
I just want to mention. I'm getting to that edge. There was one on the Amiga Commodore 64 and such. There was one for the Sega Genesis, surprisingly, just the Genesis, mind you. There was Concrete Jungle for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and more recently Hunting Grounds.
Also, those jokes that Shane Black's character was spouting
Yes.
earlier on about you're making all those dirty jokes.
Yes.
That's aged pretty badly considering he's friends with a registered sex offender and gave him minor acting roles and stuff like Iron Man 3.
Like I
Whoops.
said, Shane Black has become a rather controversial figure in later bouts here and there. Look. I'm not gonna say that he hasn't ever made good movies. Like, from what I've heard, The Nice Guys is a good film.
And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang's good too.
That as well, but you can tell he has issues which unfortunately seep into his movies.
Over here. Surprise. These guerrillas are terrible at keeping their positions.
They are.
To be fair,
they're
they are going up against an all-star cast of team.
Well, they're still better than the BAMs.
I guess you can say they're pretty expendable.
Ha.
Yeah.
Laugh.
What are you thinking, Arnie?
Oh boy. I've seen enough Looney Tunes to know what this
when you
is
see less when you see no enemy at all, I see four.
Of course he's strong enough to lift up a
I mean,
stationary
yeah,
like
it's
that.
Arnie.
Wee.
Special delivery.
Further inspection.
Yep, that's classic Arnold Schwarzenegger, all right.
What, throwing cars at Jesse Ventura?
Yes.
Yeah, whoa.
Okay. Yeah, believe it or not, this is also our hostage rescue mission, despite everyone blowing shit up.
Don't worry,
Yep.
these guys are professionals. They're trained to kill
Come on, Tia, we've
everyone
seen the
but the
Suicide Squad.
hostage.
Yeah.
Oh, Ventura. This was actually Ventura's first movie.
Oh, well, good start.
In fact, he was in 2 films that year: Predator and a film called The Running Man.
Oh, I've heard
He
of
was,
the
and
Running
he was
Man.
in, and he was also in another movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1997.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure you can guess which one.
Go ahead and say it just for the audience.
Yeah, no,
sake.
you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Batman
well,
and
that'd be
Robin.
messed up if
He
the
was
hostage was there.
he was Batman and Robin.
Oh, he was
Arkham
Bane, wasn't
Asylum
he?
Guard.
Oh, Arkham Asylum Guard, not even Bane.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, yeah, that was like a cameo.
And Demolition Man.
So yeah, again,
Wow,
like
that
I
movie,
said,
so-
continuing with the construction theme, in any other movie, this will generally just be the climax. Actually, like in stuff like Commando or Last Action Hero,
But
and
no,
yet
it's
is
the
instead
first
right at the
act.
beginning.
That said, the mission seems to be going pretty smoothly overall.
Not even a single casualty among the team. I can also tell that they actually censored it was telling it that motherfucker. Why did they censor it? You have R ratings. Where the fuck out, man?
Maybe they were testing it just in case, and, well, they didn't bother putting it back in during the editing process.
I guess it's the usual thing that Pedro quotes about South Park. Violence is good, but as long as you don't say any naughty words.
Yeah, let's face it, back in these days, that was kind of the big problem with the MPAA.
It's kind of sometimes still the deal, too.
Also,
Yeah.
how strong is Jesse Ventura's character supposed to be? Because moving a machine gun like that.
Oh, yep.
Stick around.
Ah,
Yeah, there's the Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners.
gotta have them.
Yeah. Seriously, love this man. Someday somebody's gonna make just an entire movie of Arnold Schwarzenegger blowing stuff up and spouting one-liners.
I'm perfectly
that
fine
movie's
with
gonna
even.
be
We already
genius.
have that, Jova. It's called Commando.
I'm perfectly fine also with just a documentary about
Oh
Schwarzenegger's
snap!
life.
A woman.
Like a biopic or something. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, considering also the goods of probably weapons smuggling.
To give you an idea of how much Robo War fails in ripping this movie off, they rip off this stick around scene, and instead here's the line they give Red Brown: "Don't move." Seriously, don't
Yeah.
move. That doesn't work
no.
at all.
There's no pulse. No pulse.
Can't even say, let's hang out or something.
Like, seriously, literally anything would have been better than "Don't move."
Yeah, just
That
no.
doesn't work.
Oh god, that sounds like a pretty bad mockbuster.
It is.
So when was it released?
Around the same time as this, actually. I remember the whole point of mockbusters is to try your best to cash in while the movie is still popular.
Pretty
So-
much, yeah. Heck, there are some mockbusters that. Oh snap!
I mean,
So
Yeah.
suddenly it turns out things aren't as cut and dry as you would think.
More like they were used more than anything, but they still reached what the purpose of a mission was. It's just that the government wasn't honest with them.
Somehow he sounds more Austrian when he's angry.
Well, when you tend to yell and overact, your accent tends to show a bit. Case in point,
There's a-
Christian Bale.
Not expendable.
Why do you think Get to the Chopper became a meme? Because every time he tries to scream in anger, that's where his accent shows the most.
Fun fact, there was at some point where Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually speaking more clearly, but he hired a voice coach to be able to keep his iconic Austrian accent just because that's what the people loved in his films.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's his trademark.
Yeah.
Well, not Austrian accents entirely, just Austrian accents of his kind.
And yet somehow he was not able to salvage the movie Sabotage.
I guess you can say he.
Jova, as we showcased multiple times, it seems that Skip Woods drains every talent that he's attached to.
I know, but Arnold flipping Schwarzenegger? That takes some black magic, damn it.
Not that David Ayer was helping.
But anyway, what's next? Still being watched by something.
Yeah, which means that whatever was watching them was not necessarily part of that, that gang that they just busted. Yeah. Stab. Oh, that's cute.
It was on his back. Tuh. We may be at each other's throats, but we still got each other's backs.
Poor Scorpion.
Get
Yeah.
over here.
You see, Dwebs. This is why the Scorpion is a lonely hunter.
Oh wait, maybe this is the reason why they got the Predator in Mortal Kombat at 10.
No, that's because either Warner Bros. And Boone, a combination of the two, was pushing the pedal to the metal when it came to guest fighters. Demonic laughter.
I'm guessing the talks with Disney must have been fun.
Well, back then it wasn't Dweebs. It was still Fox, which I kept mentioning ever since the buyout. Means that Warner Bros. Has to technically pay royalties to Disney and for both the Alien and the Predator. When it comes to supporting the online features of MKX. It's hilarious.
Oh, man.
At this point, they might as well just try to pay the rights to put in, I don't know.
Honestly.
A Marvel character in Injustice.
That actually instead reminds me.
Honestly, you know what we should do at this point? Give us a Roger Rabbit 2. Like, come on, WB and Disney. Just bury your dick measuring contest enough to give us a sequel.
Java, apparently in universe, the Looney Tunes are considered trash by Warner Bros. So.
I
That's
mean,
true, actually.
I mean, do you see the way they treated the Looney Tunes show?
to be fair,
I thought they were stuck in the digital world.
It was mostly a joke, Lives. But just out of curiosity, if you know, otherwise I will search myself, what company owns instead the movie rights to, what's it called? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Let me check real
Okay.
quick as soon as I can get the top on this bloody bottle. There we go.
Okay, the Predator loves to reuse a lot of audio footage.
Mhm.
It's economical.
Sorry? Oh, see, yeah, sure, it's economical. Sorry, my bad.
Oh? What's that he's got?
The Scorpion.
Yeah. It's also a good showcase that from the hand that whatever this thing
It's
is,
owned
it's not
by
natural.
Legendary Entertainment.
So Warner Bros. By extension. Okay.
Well, Warner Brothers, Universal, whoever it is.
It made things a bit more easier considering, again, Leatherface shows up, he's a guest in MKX as well, even though I don't understand why they put him there.
Jesus, the music here almost makes Commandos seem subtle by comparison. And that's a
Who
flipping
did the
James
score for
Horner.
that?
James
James
Horner.
Horner, okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the score for that movie very much.
I love it, but care to explain why?
I mean, I just don't think James Horner's very good at doing plain synth scores.
He's not good at tooting his horn, I guess. Yeah,
He's
it's
better
terrible,
with
I know.
it's like how you guys say Jun Tsunoi's better with guitars than synths.
Oh, definitely.
Would you say James Horner is better with the horns?
Orchestra.
Well, unfortunately he's passed away.
Well,
so I would
was
say
better with the-
but yes, that's what I'd say.
Seriously though, I can't balk around the irony that the guy who's named Horner was iconic for his horns.
And yet one of the more famous films he scored for is an all synth affair.
Honestly, I like Commando score here and there, but you have to be someone who cares for that kind of synth.
Honestly, it's not even a case of waiting. I just don't really remember it, to be honest.
It's interesting you say that, Joe, because here in my country, we have a saying of like when a woman cheats on a man, we usually say that the man now has horns.
Same here.
So
It's common. It's also common.
So you're saying that kind of gives a double meaning depending on the language.
It's also commonly used to insult a referee in football/soccer if he fucks up, saying that his wife cheats on him.
What?
So,
Yeah, it's on screen another time, Liz.
So anyway, the one survivor from the insurgency is this woman here.
Let me check.
Mierda.
Played by Elpida Carrillo.
That's a swear word, I believe.
Yes,
It
it's
means shit.
It's
Yeah.
shit in Spanish.
And also my country. Well, we take away the I at the beginning. It's just merda.
Yeah, same here.
French. It's also similar in French.
In French, it's merde.
Yeah. Let me see what she did. Elpidia Carrillo. Let me see what the rest. She has quite an extensive career, actually. Goes as far also recent. She was in the 2020 movie Songbird and the Tax Collector. I don't know that one. I actually don't know most of her movie careers aside from this movie.
Hmm.
Wouldn't it be funny if one of the first deaths of this film was actually Arnie's character?
Okay, again, Reeves, the movie is about deconstructing, but it doesn't go too far with that.
You know,
It's just the right amount.
It's like how in Deep Blue Sea, where Samuel L. Jackson's character died.
Ugh.
They did, yeah,
And
but
that
if this
was-
movie was done today, Arnie would probably be the first to go.
You were gonna say, Jova?
It's funny you mention that, actually. You reminded me of the Doom movie starring Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Where Dwayne Johnson actually does end up dying, and he's like, wait, no, this isn't right.
It's even worse. Dwayne Johnson becomes the villain 2/3 in out of fucking nowhere.
And it's stupid.
I mean,
It
I mean,
just
I'd love
becomes corrupted.
you know, I'd love to see The Rock as a villain one day.
How about the Scorpion King in When He Returns lives with that horrible CGI?
Yeah, with his acting quality that he has now.
Oh, wait.
and without looking like a CGI guy that was dated even when it came out.
Well, okay, he was a bad guy in Get Smart.
Never heard.
I haven't seen that film.
Oh, he was? I never saw that movie.
Yeah, you know.
I thought he was just a comic relief.
It's the movie starring
what's
Michael Scott from The Office.
What kind of
AKA
character is
Steve
Black Adam
Carell.
that he's playing?
AKA Gru from Despicable Me.
What kind of character is Black Adam? Is he more like an anti-hero?
Okay,
Yes,
he's
well,
occasional
it's
villain,
a-
occasional anti-hero.
Yeah,
More
but
in terms of villains, he's like the arch nemesis, aside from Dr. Sylvana of Captain Marvel.
so yeah, more and more people are starting to noticing that something is not right in the jungle.
Like, regardless of the government lying to them, something may be going on that even the government wasn't aware of. Trying to use your feminine wiles.
Hmm. Squirrels.
Totally nothing.
Evil squirrels.
Don't.
Really? The best forces of the United States.
Well, I mean, Pedro, Tia, we couldn't call this film stupidity, could we?
Predator, hunting for stupidity, I guess.
They're good at killing, not getting hostages.
Hmm.
He gonna die.
It's interesting how the Predator is viewing her body not as hot, as with much of a temperature as the others.
Whoa.
And Shane Black is the first to go.
Okay. We've been trying to keep this mostly free of talk about the Predator, but gotta make an obvious the Predator joke. Oh, just you wait. He's going to be back to get his vengeance on you.
Also, yeah,
So
you
many
may
ways
have
that
seen
works.
it.
Man, you were waiting so long for that joke.
Also, yeah, let's just say that. Yeah. But it's interesting also the special effects on the Predator. It's clearly CGI and it's dated as fuck, But the actual bodysuit, as you will see, is actually a practical effect.
Oh yeah, like in typical 80s fashion, the majority of movies are practical effects.
It's just that they use CGI for the camouflaging. I mean, it does kind of clash out.
Shame that they didn't get George Lucas to make a re-release of this.
That's
The
remember.
CGI would have been better.
Oh, hey, there's Rich. Well, part of him.
Yeah. Hey, also, this is a bit revolutionary because the black guy doesn't die first.
Yeah.
Neither of the ones in the team, mind you.
It's the nerd that dies
Oh,
first.
snap. Rich kind of fell to pieces.
He's over there, and there,
A bit
there,
there.
and there, and you're stepping on him right now.
Clearly, we're dealing with a Terminator.
Wait, which movie came out first?
Oof,
Terminator.
I think Terminator was,
84.
Terminator came out in 1984.
yeah.
Don't worry. Just fix Shane Black back together. He'll be able to make the Lethal Weapon films.
Yes, Pedro.
He asked, "Woman, what happened? Woman, what did you see?" And she answered, "I'm not sure." Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not helping.
Oh, I thought it was gonna.
No,
I thought it was gonna go. Full
Oh,
kindergarten
but
cop
that brings up a good point. Why didn't they take the radio or weapon, and why didn't she escape if it was supposedly insurgents?
That reminds me, actually. Oh no.
Whoop. This is the close-up of realization.
So maybe we may not be dealing with insurgents. Maybe we're dealing with something
Something
else.
worse.
Again, like I said, it must be a Terminator. Arnold, can you deal with one of those?
Terminator would be too slow for this kind of hunting missions.
Yeah, Jova.
Usually Skynet uses the HKs if they want to be more discreet.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like all these guys could handle
Also
the
MTV.
T800.
Sorry,
Probably.
Lives?
Okay, first of all, MTV on his shirt. Also, Jova, jungle setting. For some reason, this kind of makes me think that Tropic Thunder kind of took the aesthetic from this film.
Hey, look, it's Ka.
Hi there, Ka.
Wait, so is this a lead into when we eventually do Anaconda?
Sure, why not?
I mean, at least he doesn't.
The
have
first one had Owen Wilson and Ice Cube.
What?
Yes,
at least
really. 3 and 4 has John Rhys Davies as a millionaire villain.
at least at least this snake doesn't sound like Scarlett
Also, Black
Johansson
Blood.
has had a coffee yet.
Yeah, that was interesting, turning Khan to a woman played by Black Widow.
But yeah, that bit reminded me of something, Jova.
What?
One of these days, I have to, as a movie pick of mine, pick Generations of Elysium.
Oh,
I'm actually curious to see all the movies that guy did,
Neil
particularly
Blomkamp.
District 9 particularly. Whoa, shit.
Hey, there's Rich.
Basically, the Elysium is an American-made film. However, the entirety of the final scene is, for some bewildering reason, entirely in Spanish with no subtitles. So basically, I had to, on promptu, live translate everything for Jovan Dweebs in that.
Okay, I actually wonder if you guys did that movie a long time ago, right?
Yeah, we did.
Maybe versions of a Blu-ray actually did that, do have subs.
Probably.
Was that like a honey badger?
Yep, honey badger. Ooh.
And Jesse Ventura is the second casualty. What a shame.
Damn it, he had the Gatling gun! Oh, crud.
I love him just flashing his eyes. I say, yeah, what about it?
he ain't even coming back. He's just like, later.
Like, surprise, motherfucker.
Don't just fire willy-nilly. The trees did it. Kill them all!
So is this how the happening should have ended?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I still say yes.
Okay. Pedro, as you're my
Yes.
witness, this totally would have been a better ending for the happening, right?
Well,
Mark
yeah,
Wahlberg
okay,
shooting angrily at plants.
Yes, why not?
I basically just okay. If Last Airbender weren't a thing, Happening would probably be M. Night Shyamalan's absolute worst movie.
I don't know. I'll still take that movie over Lady in the Water. And I'll also take that over
I think honestly,
Glass is far worse.
aside from Lester Bender, I think Glass is his worst movie for me.
Oh, Glass.
Yeah.
Glass is
Definitely.
just so goddamn sad. Don't get me wrong. On the one hand, we got our good old M. Night Shyamalan back. On the other hand, look at what it cost us. And honestly, as somebody who just wanted him to get better, Glass was...
Not to mention, The Happening is enjoyable if you watch it as a comedy. Glass doesn't even have that going for it.
Like, what do you have to view Glass as to enjoy it? Like, Jesus.
Not
Even
really.
if you want to watch a deconstruction of superheroes, just watch Watchmen, please.
Or the first movie, Unbreakable. That one's good.
So yes, Jesse Ventura is dead.
How did we tell Ace?
But yeah, it was even something different than just a simple bullet.
It was hot enough to fuse and cauterize the wound. And now the tone of the movie begins to shift.
I mean, it pretty started with the discovery of Shane Black's character.
But still, though, now it really has begun to shift. Because, at least we were still shooty bang bang back then, but now it's clear that just blatantly shooting is not going to solve the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's alien blood! Oh wait, no.
No, otherwise it wouldn't be
it would've
acid.
been an acidic, yeah. Again, though, it's funny knowing that this and Alien are technically in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since, I guess one of the few things the Predator did that wasn't blatantly stupid was making AVP canon.
Which, however, it makes no fucking sense for the Alien continuity.
Oh dear.
Especially with what Prometheus and
Can
Covenant established.
Can I talk about the biggest missed opportunity, though? We got Alien vs. Predator, but it didn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ripley in it. And don't get me wrong, I get that the points of those franchises are the monsters, but come on, how...
They're also supposed to be separated from their respective... Schwarzenegger might have been fine because the movie takes place after the original Predator, but it's way, way before the first Alien. Having Ripley would have made no fucking sense.
True.
Yeah, they could have came up with something.
True, yeah,
like an ancestor, I guess.
They could have done the Ripley clone from Furry.
You mean 4.
Yeah.
Resurrection.
Whatever. I just saw that everyone hated Alien Free.
Okay, you know what? I'll admit, I will take Resurrection over Alien Free at any point because...
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. But again, I want to save it also when we actually get to Alien Free, and it's very, very troubled development.
So, okay, Tio, which franchise would you say had a rockier history, and which one would you say is in a better state as of now between Alien and Predator?
Alien. Because at the very least now we know that Disney is more interested into it, and they want to at least put a bit of a leash to whoever's handling the franchise now. I'm not sure if they want to reboot it or let Ridley Scott do that fabled third prequel movie that bridges the gap between Prometheus, Covenant, and the first Alien. But even so, we'll have to see how it turns out, and I'm hopefully going to be at least a bit better than Covenant. We'll see. We'll see. Predator is just... We'll see what happens. Skulls, like Dweebs mentioned, is supposed to be a prequel. And it's been apparently a bit in development hell, supposedly released for the next year. But again, we'll see. Ooh.
So, would you say it's Alien for both of my questions, and also regards as to which one had the rockier path?
Probably Alien just for quantity alone. I argue that aside from the Predator, the other Predator movies outside of this one are just okay at worst. For me.
I agree. Aside from...
To be honest...
Yes, Dubs?
To be honest, I don't really hear much of a speaking voice out of the Predator.
What? Who said he had a speaking voice?
Yes, Peter Cullen.
We said this earlier, Jova.
Again, give it some time, Dwebs.
It's for later. There's an iconic roaring that the Predator actually has. Ouch.
Okay.
Like so.
If it helps you, the robot in RoboWar talks a lot more, constantly saying the word greasy for some reason.
Oh, God.
Greasy. I don't know. Greasy.
How did I never hear about RoboWar? I've heard of...
The reason I haven't heard about RoboWar, Joe, is because it's one of those movies that are so bad that the only way you can get it is through black market shit. It's not actually available through normal means. That's how obscure this is.
That Predator 2018 had Keegan-Michael Kay.
To give you an idea, Joe, the only proper official home release of that movie is through a Chinese, I think, Laserdisc, if I remember correctly.
Jesus Christ!
So that's to give you an idea. It's these are the kinds of movies that are just the obscure of the obscure.
So what was even the point then? Like, I mean, like, if their distribution method was, well, that.
For the time it was made, Java, it was for markets like Europe and Southeast Asia. They were most appeal,
That
and also South
explains.
America.
Okay.
North America was probably the last of the targets of them.
I get it. So it's like Puma Man in that sense, where it's a
Kinda,
parody,
yeah.
but made for outside
Another
of America.
Italian-made movie.
Wait. Robot War was Italian made?
Yeah,
Bruno Mattei.
Bruno Mattei is a guy who made Italian guy. Well, Italian American. Okay, who was the Italian guy who did a lot of these American movies under different pseudonyms, mostly for some reason to cover up his tracks. um, yeah, but asking again what did she saw, and she reiterates.
Yeah, for the record, Jova. Sorry, I went to this.
Okay, I was gonna mention beforehand, but one of his particular shots with Carl Weathers was actually memed slightly in 2012.
Oh,
Just
for
for
the
people who
Coney
wanted
thing.
to troll and post an image of him and faking it to be Joseph Kony, which predictably attracted a lot of ignorant people. Hilarious.
Yes.
What?
That's a long story. Check out.
I'll give you some links later, Dej. Don't worry.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that's what Tail was saying. Basically, Jova, in Robo War, he's credited as directed by Vincent Dawn. Who's Vincent Dawn? He doesn't exist.
What?
So it's a pseudonym.
Goodness gracious. Man, the old days were
he's
quite.
slowly losing it.
This was the old
Well-
days. This was the days before the internet.
Okay.
So there was no way for anybody to find this ruse out.
To be
so-
fair, Ditch, if you just saw your friend cut down by an invisible force
Oh
with
yeah, I
weapons
know.
well beyond.
It's like consider compared to like the rest, he's the one that's slowly losing it. And you feel bad for him.
And he's sworn vengeance.
Also, this was like clearly like a in studio shot for night in front of some blue screens.
Whoa.
Yeah, some fireworks.
Sir, we've been surrounded by blue screen.
Oh, snap. You gotta wonder if the Predator was waiting specifically for him to mention how he was going to cut his friend's name into the Predator, only then to just go, yeah, well, nope, you're dying next.
It was a warthog.
Yes, that's right. Our main bad guy was a pig this entire time.
That would have been funny though.
Yeah, imagine if the bastard that killed all their men was, well, a warthog.
Is that what that bit in the Doctor Who episode Aliens of London was taking the mick out of?
Not really, Libs.
Something took Blaine's body. Well, that's unsettling.
I forget the helicopters are destroyed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one that the rebels used to have.
which is why they have to make their way through the jungle by foot. So yeah, whatever this thing is, it had a clear shot at them but chose not to kill them, but instead to take the body.
Almost as if it's toying with them. You also Jova was mentioning about the tone shift. You also notice instead the pace shift. The first half of this movie goes super fast, with the whole, destroying the rebel camp and everything. But as soon as the Predator starts killing them, things slow down in order to represent the hunt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in the Marvel universe, that wouldn't be too out of the ordinary.
No, some people would still doubt it, considering how really cynical people are in that universe.
Fucking lizard.
Yeah, desperate situation.
Oh.
We have a line.
Iconic.
Yep.
I clap.
I clap when I heard the line.
So yeah, this is where we're going
Okay,
to make
I
us.
haven't got subtitles, so I have to keep the volume turned down.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. That's the line, lives.
I mean, I've had subtitles on the whole time because I just in case.
My copy doesn't have any.
Again, Disney, please release these on Disney Plus in some capacity. At least for Europe, I mean. You mentioned all commentary, but apparently for America it's on Hulu.
So for as adult-oriented as this is, I can actually totally see this being a world in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Stop.
I can no, hold on, Dej. I can think one of the sequels for either Predators or Predator 2 may fit more with the urban environment than just the jungle, because again, there's a very limited cast and not much locale to go through, which would have fitted for the early Kingdom Hearts title, but not one modern one that needs a bigger world and everything.
I think aliens would work for Kingdom Hearts.
I'm still waiting for my recess world with minigames in it.
Yeah. No. Okay. What? You don't want to have James Woods as the villain?
Well, no, it's not that. Well, okay. How? I mean, a recess world would have to work like the 100-acre world level would have to be based on some kind of mini games.
No, but based off Recess the movie.
Honestly,
even then.
Okay. Look, if Toy Story could get a battle-oriented world, I think Recess could get a battle-oriented
world. Not the time, mate. Why are you shivering now?
A nervous tick, and to get in the movie.
Even more so, because if you're that nervous, you could just accidentally injure yourself.
I think a good one that they could put in is actually Atlanta's Lost Empire. That's actually a good one to use.
Yeah, or Treasure Planet. I'm surprised that hasn't happened because
3D had apparently data mined a model of the USS Legacy, the actual ship that is used in Treasure Planet. So there was speculation. Yeah, like I just said.
Something about my sleep. Originally going to happen.
Oh wow! Perfect timing. Like on Tio's part, it's like, yeah, you can injure yourself.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie before?
Yes, I did a marathon, but it was around 10 years ago, so I'm not super fresh.
Yeah,
I saw this when I was a kid.
So
back when I was a kid, these movies aired all the time on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, according to Anna, apparently only when the weather is hottest is when killings like this happen. They call it stuff like El Diablo, of course, the devil and all that.
Ribs, what was that quote from Battlefield Earth?
Which one?
How to spell your name?
The first one where the guy is describing, one of the aliens
a
shadow,
demon,
a beast,
a beast. Ah!
Yeah, a demon, a monster, A beast! Ah!
You know, it actually has
Yeah.
been a while since we last commentated on Battlefield Earth. What a terrible movie that was, but by God, what a
I still feel the
glorious,
seasickness.
what a glorious unintentional comedy it is with John
I
Travolta
mean,
just...
I'll give Battlefield Earth one thing actually.
What?
Well,
It didn't make me nearly as sick as Ben-Hur 2016 did.
I still haven't seen that one.
Motion sickness sick or just plain bad movie sick?
Motion sickness sick. Well, both. I mean, it took me. I mean, fortunately, I saw Kubo and the Two Strings the same day immediately after that, so I was cured.
Is that good?
It's
Yeah.
amazing. You haven't seen that? Okay, never mind. We're watching that.
No, Jesus Christ.
Hold on. You wanted to include Shurian on that, though, didn't you?
No, I mean me and him.
Just watching
that.
casually.
Come on, here's a juicy Arnold Schwarzenegger steak, Mr. Predator.
Lots of
In his
protein.
prime.
Yes.
Alright, who gets shot first?
Got him.
Ah, got him.
You know, gotta give it to the Predator. It was to the others. The Predator was kind of an idiot.
Ooh.
Oof. Like if he didn't have these tools to free from the net, he would have been actually caught by that.
To be fair, they are like, top-notch armaments, so they probably camouflaged the trap well that he didn't spot it.
There we go.
You know the scene where they.
There it is.
You know the scene where the main characters panic and just start shooting.
Yeah.
Apparently.
No, you idiot! Don't run.
The Fox executives.
No, you're dead.
Hold on, Dej. Yes, please.
The Fox executives really wanted more scenes of gunfire, so McTiernan literally made a scene where they just fired at nothing.
Well, if it helps you, Drebs, RoboWar is full of that scene over and over and over and over and over.
Maybe
there you
the
go.
Fox
Wow.
executives should have watched that film.
Sure.
Of course, he's without his shirt.
I don't know this song.
What are you doing?
Oh, he strapped himself with TNT, didn't he?
No, I was. He literally, removed as much weight as possible to be more agile.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what the rest of Bill Duke's career has been. Wait, he was Bolivar Trask in X-Men: The Last Stand? I forgot.
Yes, he was.
I forgot that he was supposed to be him.
To be fair, it's The Last Stand. So I don't blame you.
Hey,
for
Dad.
forgetting.
Hey, Dad. Fun fact: apparently, the butterfly effect of X-Men made it so that Bolivar Trask went from being a tall black man to turning into Peter Dinklage.
Look, the butterfly effects had Emma Stone, not Emma Frost, as this teenage girl in X-Men Origins Wolverine to a full-grown adult in the 60s in First Class.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Surprise.
Oh my God. You're alive still.
Bill Duke was the director of Sister Act 2?
Yep. Bill Duke is a man of many talents.
Yeah, still getting work to this day also.
And you know what? Good on him for it. it's all within my reach.
Ah.
Yes,
One
we
of the
can.
old editors was John Carter of Mars of that film. I'm kidding.
Yeah. That thing has killed both their friends. In quite graphic ways, too.
Very much so.
So, needless to say, the hunt is on.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like how Jax has a Carl Weathers costume in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they actually did it on purpose.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's great.
I get it, Alan. You want to be super cute in this wiki. Oh, what's that?
Ah, mother.
Oh, snap.
It's nice knowing you.
And Bill Duke is the next.
He was reincarnated as a director who would go on to do Sister Act 2 for some reason.
Commando was actually done before this one, so yeah. Well,
So that's one
that's
thing, though.
unfortunate.
If the Predator was supposedly over there, how did he get there without their knowledge?
Oh my god, there's two of them.
Plot twist. Arnie is actually the villain and killed him because he was on the set.
Okay, I was gonna mention that this is kind of what happens in Night Claws, as in Red Brown versus Sasquatch, but not 100%, in a sense that the movie is built up as having Red Brown fighting a Sasquatch, but then he gets killed like 3/4 into the movie by a completely different person that was hired by Frank Stallone, and then they get killed by the Sasquatches.
Huh. Matt can't answer you right now.
But your priority is very concerning us. Please hold. Yes, that's another thing. The suit of a predator again can also can record messages, but can also rebroadcast them for some deceivery and tomfoolery.
Why is he so dead?
Is this film putting us into a staring contest with Carl Weathers?
Also, the diagonal angle. Apparently, Alan wanted to channel Ghostbusters with that.
Oh, snap.
The fastest gun in the West.
Also, is he still firing for
Alien technology, gotta love it.
right now? He's armless.
Well, not completely.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and Carl Weathers is the next.
Damn. 2 black guys in a row.
At least they held up.
Don't worry, Joe. But he too will be reincarnated in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's who?
One of the main characters of the Mandalorian.
Grief Karga, sorry.
Sacrificial
Which
lion.
is now, which is funny because that's
Also, apparently it was a recurring. I didn't know that it was a recurring character in Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
Huh.
Oh, who he voiced?
Omnitraxus Prime.
Wasn't Carl Weathers? Hang on, let me check something.
Yes, he was in Arrested Development.
Yeah, I thought so. Where he played himself.
Yes.
So is this the scene where Kids Next Door copied
Yeah.
with the Lights episode?
Yes.
All right.
You're next.
That's the target of MK11.
Oh,
Oh my god. Carl
Oh,
Weathers was in Balto 3? I didn't knew that. And
Only
8
I can
Crazy
find
Nights?
time.
oh
The
god,
way
he was
kicked out,
in that.
way kicked out Alvarez was like, only I can fire
Oh.
a gun.
It's okay
Oh, here we
though.
go. Here we go.
He said it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an internet meme.
So amazingly, that blast did not blow his arm off because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Plot armor.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, but yeah, we can put that in the plot.
Also,
armor
that
too.
he mentioned his arm off, not his armor.
Get out.
Seriously, the thermal scan visor for the Predator works in mysterious ways.
So yeah, as far as the militia goes, Dutch is all that's left. Oh snap!
Oh,
That's that's quite the fall.
yeah. The fall's so big, the image got blurry for a second. Guessing the
10
digital
point
cleanup process
landing.
missed that bit.
Yeah, it's amazing how his armor is okay.
It's just a typical Saturday for him.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly losing. It's like,
At least he can wash away all the blood.
Okay. Look,
you know,
let me put it this for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mondays, that's just Terminator for him. Tuesdays, that's Commando for him. Wednesdays, that's True Lies for him. Thursdays, that's...
Junior.
So he
No,
hates Thursdays, okay?
you know, Dutch. Yeah, actually, guys, if Dutch were in One Piece, he'd have lost his arm.
And Terminator 2, well, that's Fridays for him.
And
Seriously,
Sundays are
all-
Actually,
As
what
far
are you
as-
referring specifically?
As far into the series as I am, like in the mid '60s, all the mentor characters to the main group have lost a limb.
That is true, actually.
Does Ichiro Oda hate arms?
It's also to showcase the fact that, powerful people can be like that despite, being hindered by disability potentially. Oh, shit!
Oh, boy.
Oh, and now he looks like half of a weeping angel.
Man, that would be
Okay,
funny.
Alan, I get it, but it's in the water, but it's not Jaws.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, because the Predator went inside the water or the electricity just shocked him? It's like,
Well,
"Nah."
it's enough to short circuit the camouflage. What a bummer.
Oh, snap.
No, it's a thing. For some reason, the thermal scan, again, it really sucks because it's not identifying Arnold. Even though, body heat doesn't work this way.
Maybe it's not scanning body heat. Maybe it's scanning for something else.
Oh. It even has a shoulder, that's the thing, the shoulder cannon, which uses energy.
So yeah, this is technically
awesome.
So this is technically our first full look at the Predator after he's killed most people.
Yep, and 2/3 in also.
It's a good way of building here. You know, it kind of has the Jaws effect. Only this
Now,
time,
at
the
this
resulting
even
creature
older.
doesn't look like a puppet.
It shows what the creature can do, and when the full reveal is there, you connect the dots.
So now Arnold knows what he's up against. and
And
oh
he also
boy.
understands that if he's covered in mud, he cannot see him.
So, all on.
So looks like I'm gonna go Rambo on this thing.
So, we tried setting traps with this thing. It didn't work. We tried unloading on this thing. It didn't work. We tried tactical operatives. He pretty much just made absolute suits out of those people. So, what to do now?
To hunt a creature like this, Arnold needs to start thinking like it.
I wanted to be the Predator.
Mm-hmm.
That said,
Well,
though,
the title can be used as a double meaning. Remember that before any of the sequels, the title can be referred as a double meaning. The idea of not just being the creature called the Predator, but also the fact that this is a hunting contest in a way, and who can come out on top between the two.
like, that's the thing, you know? Before, these creatures were never actually.
Arnold, we're not doing Conan the Barbarian anymore. You don't have to do that trap again.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, for the most part, the creatures themselves aren't even officially called predators. Until we get to the Predator in 2018.
I think they were already started being called officially predators in Predator 2.
No. I don't think they called them that in story, though.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. It was with the Predator when they started doing it, and that is its own brand of stupidity, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, Deji, I don't think Jova really likes that film very much. How about you?
Yeah, I know,
You
right?
get that vibe?
Most Predator fans don't.
And I mean the few ones also that went to actually see the movie. Okay, I tell a lie. It did gross slightly above half of its budget. Actually, not actually half of it, but like 2 times the budget because it was 88 million.
Fatality.
So yeah, and there's the iconic thing of the Predator. It rips off the head and spine and roars maniacally while doing it to let any other victims out there know that he's
Then he
out
cleans
there.
it, actually.
And it also has a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, so it's more like pressurized water pump in order to clean the bones of its victims.
All right, so I've got to say something. Don't judge me, but the first Predator thing I had to have the most experience with is Archie meets the Predator, and it's just the Predator killing every single.
Honestly, that's the thing, Danger. Archie is probably at its, I mean, the main Archie comics. It's probably at its best when it's doing weird crossovers, like the one with the Punisher and the one with the Predator.
Dude, the Predator one's so messed up because all the characters are dying one by one in the art style. It's like, wow, that's disturbing.
How did the Archie comics, line allow that to happen?
Archie lets a lot of crazy stuff happen.
Yeah. You
like
can
Riverdale's, like, look, the Riverdale show is a thing for a reason, despite all the
the Archie meets the Punisher crossover is still in character, but it's more tongue in cheek. Nobody actually gets killed, if I recall correctly.
So what other films came out around this time frame?
87. Plenty, actually.
Specifically,
very polished.
Well, specifically this point in 87.
I'm checking in the meantime.
How nice of the Predator, he kept the skulls well cleaned at least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Remember, it's all about trophies and shit.
Such classics as The Believers, $1 Million Mystery, and The Witches of Eastwick.
Huh. Interesting.
Sorry. Oh, Spaceballs wasn't too far away. Well,
and a few weeks before this was Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Was that a good one?
Yes.
No. Okay.
It's Beverly Hills Cop 3 where things started to get a little dumb. I wouldn't even call it the worst thing ever, but Eddie Murphy has promised he'll make Beverly Hills Cop 4 to make up for
all right,
that.
Arnold is finally ready. Hopefully. Arnie, we're not filming Tarzan.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Wait,
is
here
this
was
secret-
Tarzan as well?
Was this secretly Arnold Schwarzenegger's audition for Tarzan?
The scream that he made there just sounded very classic Tarzan-esque.
It's the way of letting the predator know it's on.
Why the slow-mo?
Great job, Arnie. Now you let me know your location.
That's the plan.
Apparently he was eating his own claws.
But yeah, I think another bout of, well, clever subversion here. Arnold Schwarzenegger had never really played a movie where he was the outright victim. Like, as far as I know,
At least until this point. Well, in the first Conan the Barbarian, he actually fails the first time
Well,
and even gets crucified.
Regardless, though, he was, like, defiant to the end. Like, no. What I mean is, I don't think before this movie we ever got a movie where Arnold was literally being chased down, you know, kind of like one of his victims in a Terminator
get what
movie.
you mean in a sense that this was the first time where Arnold's character was genuinely in danger. You didn't even know if he will actually have arrived until at the end of the movie or not.
Yeah.
I will pretend to be a statue. The predator will never see me coming.
Ooh,
About that.
Surprise!
teleports behind you.
Nothing personal.
Where did that meme come from?
Classic.
Made a edgy Sonic OC.
Yeah, classic edge lord, fake bios from the mid 2000s.
Hug that tree like it's your best friend.
Yeah. Dutch X Tree OTP.
You know, there probably is a crack ship of that.
Probably.
Yes.
What the Predator was secretly needing was just a friend.
The best pairing. Arnold
I just needed a
Schwarzenegger
friend.
and
That's why I
freaking
killed
tree.
everybody.
So you could be the last and only for me. That's also another bit for the subversion. The movie starts out for classic 80s action, while for the last bit Arnold has to rely on more primitive tech.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
And this is where the rest of the budget that wasn't Arnie's salary went.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, a movie like this still costed only 15, 18 million. That's pocket money for the time.
It was a time when studios knew, okay, we can't waste everything. We use our budget.
Keep in mind,
to
we
exceed.
still at the time the CGI for doing the camouflage effect was still expensive when you get down to it.
Mm-hmm. Like, for as much as we joke about how badly it's aged, back when it was first shown, that was probably state-of-the-art technology.
Yeah.
It was, actually, yeah.
Besides, this was Fox, so I get the idea they might have sneaked in industrial item magic.
So, yeah, there goes your invisibility, bub.
Eddie Arnie wanted to damage him a bit more with the explosion. But, take the victories while you can.
Baby steps.
Oh, wait, I thought there were two Predators.
It was more like the sea deception that at that time it was making them believe it was there, but it moved quickly.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, it is still a pretty iconic design. For as much we joke about the dreadlocks, and come to think of it, was that what Battlefield Earth was trying to pay homage to with those stupid dreadlocks?
Honestly,
Oh my
I
God, that's what Knuckles Man was referencing in that Sonic and Mega Man crossover when Knuckles got roboticized. It was the Predator.
It really is interesting when you
at
figure
least
out
he doesn't
what...
have Lego shoes.
I'll admit, from being a kid to an adult, it's interesting knowing those shows I watched as a kid or whatnot were
Reference a
referencing...
lot of stuff.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm curious. Alien was supposed to get an actual, Saturday morning cartoon. Was the Predator supposed to get one as well? Let me see.
I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, RoboCop got a cartoon.
Okay, as far as I recall, the Robocop cartoon, while not R-rated, was still relatively dark in its themes. Oh,
With my sorry,
go on.
with my age, it was more so a bit more different because since I watched a lot of this crap as a kid, actually, every time a cartoon would reference this stuff, I immediately recognized it properly. So it was
Yeah.
always supremely enjoyable for me. Like, for example, do you have any? My first time watching 2001 was when I was like 14, 15. I don't even remember. Like, so
You watched 2001 in 2001.
Actually, no, Dweebs.
well,
Pedro was born in 87.
yes, I was. Well, the
Wow, today I'm terrible at math. Fuck me.
And you
again,
sounded so
Teo.
confident. And you sounded so confident that I was wrong.
Like I said,
Force of
Teo, you need
habit.
to, like I said, Teo, apply for a position at Microsoft Italy. They
They'll
could use somebody
welcome
like
you with open arms there.
Well, to be fair, Pedro, I already have a job at Compile Hard to write better video games. I'm already fine
that
with
is
the
true.
Keep in mind, Pedro, I'm already fine with that because the Neptunia sequels have weird titles, so why not?
Hey,
Mr.
Tio. If you're working on those, can you tell us when the next Neptunia game's due to come out? Main series hasn't seen a release in years.
Fune cameo is going to be in the form
No,
of...
sorry, Jova. Right now he's busy writing Dragon Star Varnier 2.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that game end up being good? I forget, or
And on the long run, it seems to be.
Apparently, yes.
Against
which is
all
why-
Alright, let me
odds.
see.
Oh my God, Jesus! Did they highlight Arnold Schwarzenegger's eyes or whatnot?
Honestly, if you ask me at this point, Compile Hard might as well. I mean, if they're not interested, might as well just retire Neptunia at this point.
Well, it's getting a crossover with
Uh-oh.
Cargo.
Yeah,
Hey.
again, teleports behind you.
It's the Undertaker AJ Styles meme.
That being said, Teo, after you're done with that, remember you still have to help out Right Fire Fencer F2 because we're still one.
We still need the sequel hook.
We still need to solve that.
Oh! Oh, he just literally bamboozled
Blinded
him.
Deji, I'm really glad that was the Undertaker's last match. And I'm being legit serious.
Really? I thought the Undertaker was still running.
Anyway, I checked.
He retired back last year.
There doesn't seem to be even a cancelled idea for a Predator TV series. I mean, an animated TV series, but it did spawn the usual when it comes to franchising. Comic books, video games, and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the water washed off the mud.
I mean, the only thing that sucks is that the Undertaker couldn't retire in front of fans.
That's unfortunate.
This is how you talk to short
How will
people.
Arnold get out of now? Kiss.
Hey, look, I've got a scar too. Is that what he's trying to say?
Oh, but
have
what's
a scar.
this? He just put him down.
He's not interested anymore.
He knows that if he kills Arnie, the film will lose his most bankable star.
All joking aside, there's another reason, actually.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. Again, one thing that the Predators have eradicated in their culture is all about recognizing a worthy opponent and as such, stopping the hunt for ensuring instead good sportsmanship.
Not
believe it or not.
Not only that, but they are obsessed with getting the hunt at its most dangerous. For example, if suddenly, say, one's chasing you and you put down your gun, he'll leave you be because you're not as much a threat anymore.
And more like you're a weak prey, not in more, worth their attention.
Yeah. Oh boy, here comes the iconic reveal and the line.
Of what the Predator actually looks like. Oh, it's a cutie. A face a mother could love.
Yeah, how lovely.
Yeah, that's another line.
Believe it or not, there have been fan art that actually do make it look legit cute.
The only way it would look cute is if you somehow managed to make it look like a cat.
Somebody actually has done that.
Yeah, that I was about to say, Arnold, that was a bad idea.
But yeah, this might be right, actually. Maybe what happened was it aired on TV because, well, look, it's 2001 in 2001. So probably they aired at TV at some point. I forget what exactly were the circumstances. It's been so long at this point.
But yes, it is a very interesting concept. A species that is so obsessed with getting a good hunt that they'll willingly handicap themselves just to make them equal with their prey here and there.
Just for the thrill of a hunt. It's a common type of theming, even in storytelling. Believe it or not, even well, not obviously 100%. Even Final Fantasy XIV actually has a plot line that has this kind of theming of a villain that sports with your character and but wants to just a hunt in the end.
Yeah, maybe that's what Dragon Ball should do with the next villain, make him a parody of the Predator.
I mean, why not at this point?
They've already ripped off Terminator, might as well.
And Alien.
Oh, really? What do they do with Alien?
Frieza form free.
Oh, right. God, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a bit all over the place. So with the Great Mage Piccolo vomiting eggs, similar enemy design, also similar bit to the Xenomorphs. Oh, there's one last trick that Dutch had prepared.
Bingo.
Come on.
I'm not stupid.
You're about as transparent as your accent. You're about as transparent with your plan as your accent is thick.
Yeah, I can
really
imagine.
The plot twist is that wasn't the trap.
What are you looking at?
The actual trap, moron.
Yeah, it's more about having more than one trap in place.
Nature meets technology!
What?
Hey,
Oh, come on, Arnie. Don't you
He's
have any
still alive,
one-liner?
I think he's
No
a
way he
little
can
too
die like
tired for
that.
one-liners. Wait a minute. Come on. Fight ain't over yet.
And I had enough of you.
I know what you're referencing to you. Star Trek 3.
Arnold, no, this is not time for being
And
PT.
this is how he dies.
I don't think it can answer you, Arnie.
Oh, see, it's a parallel. Who's the real monster?
You might have to run.
You probably
it
just
could
should
be.
have thrown the rock at him.
What is he?
Quick.
Oh,
could be
you
setting
sore
up-
loser!
It's always a self-destruct sequence.
That's just.
And he's laughing maniacally.
Wow. What a
Scheiße.
what a
And
sore loser.
And even after.
That was Peter Collins' laughter.
Yeah. Yes, that was Peter Cullen giving an evil laugh.
Damn.
Oh yeah, like Peter Cullen. Okay.
Like the only other experience that I had with Peter Cullen as a villain was for the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And even then, he wasn't this maniacal.
Like, you know, we know him more for his gentle and caressive voice as Optimus Prime, but no, he is legit capable of turning in a scary performance.
Or his deadpan voice with Eeyore.
By the way, the helicopter
too.
pilot is the same guy who wears the Predator suit, Kevin Peter Hall.
Huh.
That's cute.
So the Predator reincarnated itself as a helicopter
Immediately
pilot.
after. Is he the Doctor he regenerated?
Maybe.
Maybe that's a secret of the Predators. We're Time Lords.
Here comes the conquering hero.
Bullshit, he should have died.
Boy, you look like you've been through hell in a handbasket, sir.
And then the helicopter blows up.
No.
Or plot twist. There's another Predator piloting the helicopter.
Why?
Yeah, that's why they look so worried. The Predator's piloting the helicopter, and he's like, by the way, don't tell him I'm piloting this, because if you do, I'll kill all your families.
And Dutch was so done with this that he is never going to come back for a sequel, unlike Ripley.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, despite surviving, Dutch doesn't show up in any of the future movies. I think he has a cameo in Hunting Grounds, but that's it.
Around this time, Arnie doesn't like doing sequels.
Mm-hmm.
I
can understand why.
The irony, the absolute irony. Granted, this was before Terminator 2, so...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Predator players. Shane Black is Hawkins.
Everywhere you look, everywhere.
Jesse Ventura is Blade.
Seriously, why did we do this?
Bill Duke is back.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's cheeky.
Yeah.
Elpida Carrillo is Anna.
She is, I think, the only cast member who
Carl
did
Weathers?
return.
Yeah, she returns for Predator 2.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch.
They did not any shot of Arnie smiling. I get that he's terrifying, but still.
Maybe the guy who was doing this bit just yelled at Arnie because he was supposed to turn around, but he had, yeah, it's like, hey Arnold! And he turned around.
Wait. Okay. And
So,
Kevin
yeah.
Peter Hall is the Predator, of course.
So yeah, that's it. No post-credit scene. The Predator will not be invited to the Mutant Initiative. So
Okay,
thoughts, I suppose.
Great movie. I'm actually impressed with how it was. I can understand why it's beloved.
Mm-hmm.
And they never made a sequel to this, right? Huh.
Okay. Look, like I said, Predator 2, it's actually a good movie. Predators, I'd argue it's fine. It's just... the other stuff is... You'll know when we get into really messed up territory.
Yeah, good luck with getting me roping back into this. but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm at loss for words.
Wow, you really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Alright, Dibs.
Yeah, there's a reason why this film's considered a classic. It's got all the hallmarks of it. Decent acting performances, even from Arnie. Back then he really wasn't that good an actor, but he's decent nowadays. We got great effects from Stan Winston, among others, especially for the Predator. And and yeah, and it's a pretty it's not really like a lot of Arnie's other movies where he's almost always on top of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's formerly surrounded by a gang of fellow muscly men like himself, but they all get picked off, and then he's the only one at the end. He even resorts to disguising himself as a weeping angel.
Well, it worked apparently.
Yeah. The job was just the grey bear, not the if anyone looks at you, you can never move again part. And I mean, okay, Alan Silvestri's score, while effective for the movie, isn't all that memorable, to be honest. I mean, maybe he was still feeling the after effects of being, I don't know, maybe after Back to the Future, he took a while to find his groove again. But
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know what films he did between Back to the Future and this one. Although it is interesting, Alan Silvestri is a guy who he's probably scored as many iconic franchises as John Williams has. Maybe even more. I don't know. And yeah, overall, this is a pretty solid movie. And it'll be interesting for me going forward because I have not seen any of the other movies.
Okay, then.
That's it.
Okay,
Pedro?
Tio. Oh, sure, Pedro.
Yeah, no, the movie's a classic. I mean, what else is there to say? Like, it has incredibly strong atmosphere, really charismatic characters, even for as simple as they are. An intimidating villain, and it's just a lot of fun, in a very entertaining and very tense when it wants to be. So again, it's one of the all-time great action movies for a reason. It really excels at everything it does. I mean, so yeah, no complaints here. The only thing, just to finish my earlier point though. Now, well, look at it this way. Keep in mind, like now, like most people were just not caring. Me, when I was watching the Yogi Bear movie, I was just, and the 2001 reference came up. I was all like, why?
Mm.
So yeah, that's basically me when it comes to the whole references thing. But no, the movie's
The
great.
Yogi Bear movie referenced 2001.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. And for
It's a classic low gravity scene where a character leaps towards something.
And
Yeah.
it's the worst kind of reference. It comes out of nowhere, it has no context, and it's just comes.
It's kind of like
quickly.
it's kind of like that moment in Orton Hears a Woo where Orton for some reason quotes Harry Kissinger.
But yeah, Predator is awesome. So what else is new too?
Sure. This is a classic, not really much to say. It's even more enjoyable these days, consider it as a deconstruction of the 80s action formula, done in a very interesting way. You can tell when the movie shifts tone, like Jova mentioned, and also the pace. Because the second half, you can tell it's much more slow and methodical when the Predator starts speaking one by one, the different characters, So it's very interesting overall. It's entertaining, it's interesting, it's overall just a good time. It deserves all the money that it got and the cold status that it had. Before I leave it to you, Jova, I want to notice something because I was searching a bit if there was some information about the upcoming Skulls prequel movie.
Mm-hmm.
So far, the only two things that worry me about is that the movie can actually potentially get a PG-13 rating, but it's only more of a question mark at the moment. And the director that was engaged for it, which was actually confirmed, I think in 2020, last year, is Dan Trachtenberg, which has basically nothing under his resume at the moment.
Yeah. He did 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That movie was fine, but like I said, it has basically nothing else. A couple of single episodes from some TV series like Black Mirror, and 3 short movies that were more fan projects than anything.
Also,
like if he actually is worth his talent, he will actually have to show it with this one.
Yeah.
All right, Java, close us out, please.
Movie's fantastic. It has a stellar cast, a pretty good script, and again, it's about where it actually does subvert the expectations of the audience very well, but in a clever way. It does give you the fist-pumping action that you normally expect from Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but it evolves into something much creepier and slower until eventually you literally get the demonic-faced bad guy who literally goes out with an evil laugh. Seriously, though, like... And you know what? Gotta give top notch. Apparently, the sounds that the Predator made, Peter Cullen came up with those all on his own. The clicking and everything, and of course the evil laugh in the end. So, kudos. Everyone did top notch. The physical actor of the Predator, the voice actor of the Predator, pretty much everyone in the cast did their jobs extremely well. It's a phenomenal movie. Which, you know, is it any surprise that it birthed a franchise? See, it did what a lot of movies don't always do before they become a franchise. It did leave the door open to stuff. Because, again, technically at this point, we don't truly know what this Predator was. Dutch doesn't know what it was.
For all we know, it was just like a landing, a rogue landing from a species that did not care. You know, it doesn't, not explaining some stuff, allows interpretation that can be explored with sequels.
That said, if they did want to end it here, they could have. For all we know, it could have just been a random alien life form that's just hell-bent on making us its game trophies here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, this movie excels at everything, even so much as leaving room open for a sequel, but giving us a nice and conclusive enough end if it were to end right there and then. And a phenomenal performance from Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. Like, I mean, let's be honest, he's probably the main reason you're here. Well, aside from the Predator itself.
Yeah.
So, yes, that was the Predator. We'll see you for when we eventually do Predator 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See ya.
But,